In a highly competitive business, some companies are cutting corners. Our Caleb Beams joins us with the KTRE special investigation. Caleb?
A 2010 study suggests that around 30 children a day are injured in bounce houses. 17 states across the country have their own standards, including right here in Texas. But if you talk to those playing by the rules, they will tell you the number that do are far less than those that don't. As children head outside for some fun in the sun, many parties will use bounce houses as a way to pass the time. And while the inflatable devices can offer hours of fun, they can also be dangerous. Every bounce house operator is required to follow safety standards put out by the American Society for Testing and Materials. Operators are supposed to let the renters know about the manufacturer standards, as well as provide them with a way to tie down the inflatable. But in 17 states, including Texas, more standards are required. In 2009, the Texas legislature added inflatables to their list of amusement rides needing yearly inspections to make sure only the safest devices are being rented out. Clyde Dickens at A1 Party Rentals in Lufkin believes many companies are not following the rules.
Probably 85% are not state certified. There's people that know they just don't want to abide by it.
And he says he knows just where to find them.
They're all over Facebook. It's an illegal operation when you get right down to it.
Bill Hogard, who inspects on average 3,000 inflatable structures a year, said the amount of people skipping around the law is significant.
I would say probably 50% of those who are not in compliance simply don't know, and the other half either know or don't want to, or just skirting around it to best they can.
University Rental in Nacogdoches has around 20 inflatables available for rental. For owner Jim Elder, getting those inspected is not cheap.
It's generally anywhere from $400 to $500 for the total inspection, and then each a certificate from the state is $45 per unit.
Meaning the cost to the customer goes up.
It is frustrating because sometimes they'll rent them less than we do, and so it makes the customer wonder, but it's for the safety of the customer and the safety of the children that are in it.
On top of the inspection costs, operators like Elder and Dickens are required to also carry $1 million insurance policy in case something like this happens.
Oh my God!
If they ever have any significant accident, it could ruin them personally.
Now, bigger inflatables like this water slide that I'm standing on top of only have a shelf life of about 3 or 4 years, which is why Elder says it's important for the consumer to make sure companies they rent from are keeping up on their inspection and only putting out the best available product. Elder said ask to see the inspection sticker before you sign any rental agreement. It's also good to look over any tears in the netting and to make sure the inflatable is properly secured before you let your children climb inside.
It doesn't take away the responsibility of the adult. You know, you have to have some adult supervision.
Now, operating a bounce house without the state guidelines is costly. Operators can be punished with a Class B misdemeanor and can have their business shut down. Now for the customer. The state does keep a list of all companies who have current inspections on the books, and we have provided that link at our website in the big red box. In the studio, Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9.
Top story, there's no doubt the recent downpour has caused headaches for many East Texas drivers when it comes to potholes, but Huntington residents say their issue with potholes is chronic with no help from the city. Tonight, our Caleb Beams hits the streets to try to get some answers.
The signs give warning of kids, but Huntington residents say children are not the only reason why you should slow down.
Look at that. You know, covers my whole foot. It's getting to the point, man, you can't even walk on the road anymore.
Potholes, and residents say they are everywhere. Jay Garth bought his home on Pecan Street in 2007 and said the potholes have always been here, but over the last year they have gotten worse.
I counted 20 potholes, major potholes that were at least 9 inches deep and a foot diameter.
Other neighbors in the area told me they have even had damage done to their vehicles.
I've had 3 different alignments on my car in just a little over 6 months. It's ridiculous.
We drive through them every day. I've bent my rims 3 different times.
Keisha's husband said the problem is so bad that driving has become nearly impossible.
There is no way to avoid when you're driving to maneuver around the potholes.
Looking for answers, I took the concerns of husband and others to City Administrator Dale Brown.
Well, I agree with you. There is a pothole issue, and the City Council agrees with you.
Brown said years of underfunding for road repairs has left the city behind, and with only 8 public works employees splitting the duties of the entire city infrastructure has been tough. But says a new 5-year repair plan on select streets like Arkansas that was done a few months ago should help with the problem. Brown also said council is looking to bring in outside help.
It's not the best. It's as good as this city can afford right now.
Will Sessions says it may already be too late.
This problem is never going to go away until the right thing is done.
But is hoping he's wrong. Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9.
Our Caleb Beams was able to get exclusive security footage and tells us why it was a long day of cleaning up.
It was a long day of cleanup.
I thought that someone might have thrown a rock through the window.
After a long night of destruction by a would-be burglar. Take a look at this security footage of a car ramming through the front of Texas Coin in downtown Lufkin early Monday morning. Police say it was all the work of this man, 27-year-old Trampus Smith. But it wasn't the only story hit. Just a short time earlier, Smith escaped police after ramming into Beard's jewelry with the car stolen earlier in the night. Smith caused damage to the outer layer of security but could never get through the main doors. And it's the 4th time the store has been targeted this year.
For some reason, we seem to have a lot of shoppers who want to come in when the store is not open. We have become very good at this and getting the business back and open and running.
Police would finally catch up to Smith and Dieball after he led him on a chase that would reach speeds of up to 125 miles per hour. Darrell Beard says Smith was in over his head, and he is confident about the security system.
Whenever the alarm goes off now, and with the security that we have and the structure, I know that it is someone that is just going to do damage, and because they will not be able to get inside of Beards.
Back at Texas Coin, Phil Mortensen said the break-in is part of life, and he is ready to move on.
It's just something that you have to deal with. It's just unfortunate. We live in a great small town here in Lufkin, and there's, every once in a while there's a person that's just gone astray.
Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9.
East Texas News 9's Caleb Beams talked with the department and was also able to get a hold of the 911 tapes.
While investigators continued looking for evidence at this home on Thigpen Road, KTRE learned more details into the scary ordeal that happened last Thursday night.
Started trying to chase him people, but I shot at him with my gun.
At the same time the homeowner was making that 911 call from his front yard, his wife was inside the house, talking with another dispatcher.
They robbed him, and then they started out. Something got his gun. I don't know. Just
6 days after the invasion, investigators now say they believe this was not random.
These types of crimes are normally targeted crimes, meaning somebody has looked at the location they're going to hit, made a plan, and hit that location specifically.
And while they will not say if the house was cased or the suspects even knew the victims, Lieutenant Pete Muscuna said there is no need for neighbors to be alarmed.
This is not like what we had last year, where we had a group of people coming up out of Houston and just randomly hitting different houses. This has all the hallmarks of being a planned, for lack of a better word, assault on the house.
And that they are working every day looking for clues that might identify the suspects.
Suspects being possibly 4 black males in an older model vehicle, possibly a Jeep. We still have that as being our best information on a suspect.
In Pollock, Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9.
Our top story, a warning from Lufkin PD to the public. There's a new type of scam targeting the elderly. Police say it works by people randomly calling a person who pretends to be a relative in need of a large sum of money. East Texas News 9 Caleb Beam talked to one woman who almost became a victim of the crime, and she has a warning for East Texans tonight.
I think it was God speaking to me, telling me that I need not to do this.
It was that intuition, and Bowles said, that saved her from giving away $2,000. Bowles said earlier this week she received a call that sounded like her grandson, who said he was in a lot of trouble with law enforcement.
What I'm calling for is I want money to keep him from this going on his to be a criminal.
Bowles started to act quickly on that disturbing news, running to the store to put money on prepaid gift cards, but then called her daughter, who said this had to be a scam, and a very convincing one at that.
He did. His voice was kind of like Travis.
Lufkin Police Sergeant David Casper said this exact scam has become common and plays right at the person's heart.
Play on the emotions because you don't want your loved one to be in a bad situation, so you're going to do what you can to help them. By making them act quick, they have less time to do research on their own.
Police say if the person on the other end of the phone can't identify who they are without asking you, it's probably not who they say they are. And the best thing for you to do is hang up.
If they're calling you for a reason, they should already have your information. And you can let them tell you that stuff. Don't give it to them. Don't provide it for them.
Bowles says she's learned her lesson and hopes others will heed this warning.
So many scams going on that are so creative that people will be vulnerable to them.
Caleb Beams, KTRE, East Texas News 9.
And today marks the one-year anniversary of the arrest of the Westfall family. Paul and Letha Westfall, along with their children Kristen and Cameron, all charged with engaging in organized criminal activity in connection to the shooting that left 2 people dead outside of Tyler County Church. Now, our own Caleb Beam was in Tyler County a year ago and joins us now with more. Now, Caleb, how is the family doing?
John Carlos, Jim Maddox, the father of one of those killed, agreed to sit down with me today and relive a day that he says, in his words, was a ride on a roller coaster full of emotions. He told me the pain of losing his son was replaced by peace as the year went on, and he opened up about what he wants for the 4 suspects. It's been a long year for Jim Maddox. 1 year ago today, Tyler County authorities arrested 4 suspects in the shooting death of Maddox's son Nathan and his wife Crystal. And while I was on the air reporting about the arrest, Maddox was with 25 other family members, watching 3 of the 4 Westfalls get booked into jail.
It ended up being well into the night by the time they finally made the arrests. But that whole day was just kind of up and down.
Maddox says as the 3 were taken into jail, a burden was lifted off his shoulders.
It certainly felt like a victory to that extent of it, to that point anyway. Probably the beginning of some closure.
The arrest came 52 days after Nathan and Crystal were gunned down outside of this church while going to a supervised visit with their daughter. In past stories, Tyler County Sheriff Brian Weatherford has been adamant that Nathan's former wife, Kristen Westfall, her brother Cameron, and parents Paul and Letha carried out the shooting. Maddox says he's been patient over the last year, waiting for a day when the 4 will appear in court. He's not sure when that will happen, but he says his faith has helped him grow over this time.
I'm probably now more than ever compassionate about their souls. I don't think any of us, as far as a family, wants to see them have to die. That's not going to fix this. To me, a death sentence would be a shortcut.
If the 4 Westfalls are found guilty, they could face life in prison without the possibility of parole. Reporting in the studio, Caleb Beams, East Texas News 9.